Hello, everyone. This is Trey Edwards,
And this is Abby Kelly.
and we are here today to offer you coverage on Gettysburg.
We are currently on hold waiting for the games to begin at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. So let us go over today's team's stats while we wait.
All right. On the northern side, being represented by the Army of the Potomac, we have some formidable stats. The North, being led by President Lincoln, is highly industrialized compared to the South and is much more capable of transportation through railroads and such.
What is their population like?
Large. They have a massive 20 million compared to the South's meager 9 million. As for the team representing today, the Army of the Potomac has recently been put under some new management.
Interesting. I wonder how this may factor into the upcoming battle.
Who knows? We have minimal information on Meade, but the previous general set the bar extremely low.
Now, onto the opposing side, the South, being led by President Jefferson Davis and being represented by the Army of Northern Virginia on the field today, is lacking the impressive stats of the North. The population, as stated earlier, is only 9 million, and 1/3 of that is enslaved.
Yikes.
Yikes, indeed. The South lacks the industrialization and ease of transportation that the North boasts as well. The odds are definitely stacked in their favor, but that doesn't mean they don't have anything going for them. The Confederacy will not need to worry about pushing their borders at all. They only need to defend, and the South believes they have a moral cause, which brings them a rallying point, unlike the North.
Seems like today's battle should be tight. Hopefully it'll start soon.
So, while we wait, let's talk about military leadership.
Good idea. We want to give you, the viewers, the most comprehensive information we can. The North boasts of good set of generals, such as Ulysses S. Grant, William Sherman, George B. McClellan, and George Meade. In today's battle, George Meade is the team leader. We do not have a comprehensive profile on him quite yet, but he seems quite promising as he has been fighting in the war, but in lower positions.
As for the South, we have two notable men, Robert E. Lee and Thomas Stonewall Jackson. This battle is headed by Robert E. Lee, who seems to be invincible and has just recently won in Chancellorsville. He's definitely one of the worst opponents to pit a newly appointed general against. Trey.
Well, I just got word from our
There you go.
producers. It seems our man on the field is ready to begin reporting, so let's go to him. So, Richard, how does it look on the field?
Well, right now we're in the third day of the battle between the Northern and Southern forces, and it's been a bloodbath, literally. Lee's team has been playing offensive since the start, but is starting to slow down after many of his players were fatally injured the previous day. The Union, in response to this all-out attack, has remained defensive and pushed back Lee's forces, while losing around the same number of players as the South.
Could you provide the viewers with some exact numbers on how many players are on each side?
Well, Abby, the North started with around 104,256 players, while the South has around 73,000 players. Needless to say, the South has an advantage with Gettysburg being their home turf and having the greater number of players.
Thanks for the stats, but what matters most is if these players are experienced or not. Could you tell us more?
Sure thing. Both teams are composed of equally experienced men who have given it their all throughout this event and many others before it.
What about their resources?
Good question. As for what each team has at their disposal, North was cut off from additional resources even though they were on home turf. East Army was struggling with resources due to them taking place in many battles while pushing north.
Do you have any recent information regarding the team's strategies?
As a matter of fact, I do. I've gotten reports saying that the South is going to perform a major charge towards Cemetery Hill to control the roads that branch off from it. The South is dubbing it Pickett's Charge. We'll have to see how the North will respond, if they even do.
Thanks for the update on the field. We'll check back later for some updates regarding this charge.
Wait, before you go, I have received a major update regarding Pickett's Charge. It turns out they pushed earlier than expected. Eyewitness reports from the Northern team have contacted me to say that they were expecting a charge on Cemetery Hill. This is truly an unexpected maneuver from Meade. Many say Lee's forces are being decimated by the setup prepared by Meade. This will surely turn the tide of the Battle of Gettysburg.
We're receiving more information from Richard on the field. How is it looking for both teams right now?
I am here to declare that Coach Meade's team has undoubtedly overcome Lee's Army of Northern Virginia. After approximately 1 hour from the start of Pickett's charge, the South began to retreat. Yet Meade failed to apprehend Lee, which could have ended the championship.
Since the game has ended, could you give us the numbers on how many player casualties there were during the game?
Sure, my estimate would be around 23,000 casualties for the North and 28,000 for the South.
What does this mean for both sides going forward?
This is a major loss for the South that has turned the Civil War championship completely. Lee, the South's best general, has lost 1/3 of his forces. As of right now, we have reports of a Union victory in Vicksburg where they have established control of the Mississippi River. This will surely raise morale for the North. Things are looking very promising for the Union currently. As for the Confederacy, these major losses will undoubtedly lower morale, and their military losses will be noticed until the end of the championship. Well, that's all from the battlefield. Back to you, Abby.
Thank you for the coverage of Gettysburg playoffs this far, and we hope to see more coverage of other games around the country.
So, Abby, how do you feel about the changes in America since the Union victory in the Civil War championship game?
Well, we have certainly seen many changes, especially with the presidency.
You're certainly right, Abby. Let's delve into the assassination of President Lincoln.
Well, on April 14th, 1865, President Lincoln was killed by John Wilkes Booth in Ford's Theater.
And that resulted in Vice President Andrew Johnson becoming the 17th President of the United States of America.
And with the death of Lincoln, we also saw a halt to the Reconstruction plans.
That's right. We saw three main plans proposed for Reconstruction because the show must go on.
First, we have Lincoln's plan, the 10% plan, which was the most lenient of the plans. He also implemented the 13th Amendment. The 10% plan meant that once 10% of a state's population had taken an oath, the state could be deemed as part of the Union again. The 13th Amendment called for the complete abolition of slavery in the United States.
Next, we have Johnson's plan. It requires 10% or more of the Confederacy to pledge allegiance to the Union. It was more lenient on the planter elite, but had no safeguards for freedmen.
Now, those radical Republicans wanted to keep those that participated in the Confederacy out of politics, wanted military control of the South, and wanted universal male suffrage. These Republicans also ratified the 14th Amendment, giving citizenship to the recently freed men, and ratified the 15th Amendment, restricting the rights of states to put restrictions on voting.
So, you mentioned the freedmen. How were they affected?
There were positive and negatives for the freedmen. The positive effects were the Freedmen's Bureau, which provided education, food, housing, and medical aid. All of the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments were also added, which greatly helped them. The bad effects were that racism wasn't stopped, and we saw the creation of the KKK, and the freedmen also weren't allowed to economically prosper due to sharecropping.
Well, thanks for watching, everyone.
We hope everyone has a great night and stays safe.
You can catch us tomorrow, same time, same place. Good
night,
night,
America.
America.